The Windermere Inn was a quaint old bed and breakfast nestled in the middle of nowhere. Its charm lay in its rustic decor, creaky wooden floors, and stories of being haunted. Rumors that drew curious travelers and thrill-seekers alike. Kate and Liam, a couple on a weekend getaway, weren't ghost hunters, but they couldn't resist the novelty of staying in the infamous Room 30. "Do you think it's really haunted?" Liam asked as they unlocked the door. "Doubt it," Kate replied, rolling her eyes. "It's probably just marketing to lure in people like us." The room was unremarkable except for one peculiar feature: a large window that stretched nearly from floor to ceiling, offering a perfect view of the dense forest surrounding the inn. The glass was spotless, unnervingly clear, as though it had been cleaned moments before they arrived. Liam pressed his face against the glass. "Wow, it feels like you could walk right through it. I've never seen a window like this." Kate, unpacking her bag, glanced at it uneasily. Something about the window felt off. That night, as they settled in, a soft tapping sound woke Kate. She sat up, heart pounding, and saw Liam staring out the window. "Did you hear that?" she whispered. "Yeah," he said, his breath fogging the glass. "It sounded like it was coming from outside." Kate joined him at the window, peering into the darkness. The forest was still, the trees swaying gently in the wind. Then she saw it, a faint shadow moving among the trees. "Did you see that?" she asked, gripping Liam's arm. "Probably just an animal," he said, though his voice wavered. But then the tapping came again, louder this time. It wasn't coming from outside, it was coming from the other side of the glass. "Is someone out there?" Kate whispered. "No," Liam said, his face pale. "It's not possible, we're on the second floor." The next morning they asked the innkeeper about the window. "Ah," she said, her voice dropping to a whisper. "That window's been here since the inn was built. Some say strange things happen in room 13 because of it." "What kind of strange things?" Kate pressed. "Well, the room's history isn't pleasant. A man once stayed there for a week, insisting he saw someone watching him through the window every night. But no one else saw anything. He eventually—" She hesitated. "He jumped out of that very window. No one knows why." Kate and Liam exchanged uneasy glances. That night the tapping returned, louder, insistent. Liam refused to look, burying his head under the covers. But Kate couldn't ignore it. She walked to the window, the glass shimmering faintly in the moonlight. When she leaned closer, she froze. A face stared back at her, not her own reflection, but someone else. It was a woman, her features distorted, her hollow eyes filled with anguish. "Liam," Kate choked out, backing away. "What is it?" he asked, his voice muffled. Before she could answer, the woman's hand reached out, not from the other side, but from within the glass. It pressed against the surface, leaving streaks of condensation as though she were trapped inside. "Help me," the woman mouthed, her voice faint and muffled. Kate screamed, stumbling back, but Liam grabbed her, pulling her away from the window. "We need to leave," he shouted. The couple spent the rest of the night huddled in the hallway, refusing to return to the room. At dawn, they packed their bags and prepared to leave. But as they walked past the innkeeper, Kate hesitated. "Who was the woman in the window?" she asked. The innkeeper looked confused. "Woman? I've never heard of a woman. Just the man who jumped." Liam frowned. "Maybe someone else saw something and—" "Wait," the innkeeper interrupted, her expression shifting to one of concern. "You didn't look too closely at the window, did you?" Kate's blood ran cold. "Why?" "Because the stories say it's not a window at all," the innkeeper replied slowly. "It's a mirror." The entire time, Kate and Liam had been looking at reflections of themselves, but twisted, fragmented versions of their souls trapped in the glass. The woman Kate saw was not a ghost. It was a reflection of herself, distorted by the window's supernatural nature. The tapping hadn't come from outside, but from the parts of their beings that were already being consumed by the cursed mirror. As they left the inn, Kate glanced back at the window one last time. Her reflection stared back, unmoving, her mouth silently mouthing, "Help me." The Windermere Inn's charm had turned into a nightmare they would never forget.